waiting.
And right into the stretch. Looking back and throws up the middle. Rose is on his way around. Picked up by Otis.
Here comes the ready or not. Here comes the boys from the south. Here comes the ready or not. How you like me now? I say. Here comes the boom. Ready or not. Here comes the boys from the south. Boom. Here comes the boom. Ready or not. How you like me now?
You don't live in Cleveland. You live in Cincinnati.
You are watching live to the best damn Cincinnati sports podcast this side of the Bengal barn. We got Bengal Dan. I'm Santori Miles. T Bowles is in the chat. How we doing?
Doing great, except for our boys with summer.
God
I'm sure
bless
we'll get
it,
into
they
that.
suck. They are so bad.
That's how we ended last show, and they could have could have won like 5 out of 6 and made us look bad, but nope, they made us look good.
No.
They're terrible.
We are always right. They're bad. And it kills me that Tito's not doing a damn thing with this team because I really like the hire.
They're not bad. They're beat. They're defeated. They're embarrassed. How come every time we play Milwaukee, we can't hit the ball? It's crazy how often we strike out, how inept our offense is. And if we get a little bit of a rally, it fizzles. They choke. I don't understand what's so intimidating about the godforsaken Milwaukee Brewers. They don't scare the shit out of anybody but us, and I don't understand why. It was different when the Cardinals were a quality, good. I respected the Cardinals. I got no respect for Milwaukee. They're just a bunch of just average baseball players. The difference is they can do things fundamentally sound where the Reds don't. They can hit behind runners. They actually still try to steal bases. That's another fault of Tito. He doesn't try to steal bases. They're aggressive on the base paths, and they're good, sound, fundamental defensive ball players. I don't know. I don't get it. And I don't see them hanging with the same players year after year after year that hit 220. I just don't see them doing it. We just hang with the same guys, just expecting that wonderful 6 weeks in 2023 is going to re-materialize. What are we doing? We're living in a fantasy world.
They don't have a core. When you talk about good baseball teams, you talk about teams that have a core of like 7 to 8 guys that you can absolutely rely on. Typically,
do they have one position player that you can absolutely rely on? Do they have a Christian Yelich?
No.
Ellie's not that guy. Ellie feels his way through. When he was up in the 9th inning yesterday, I wonder if you'd have taken a poll, what percentage of people would have thought that he was going to come through and get a hit to tie that game? I think it would have been a relatively small percentage.
Do you want to know how short my fuse is with the Reds anymore? I sat down I think it was this weekend, maybe 3 days ago, whatever it was. I had a night where I was like, you know what? The Reds are on. I think it was Ellie's second game back, whatever that was. So a couple days back. And I was like, I'm going to watch. I'm going to sit down, and I'm going to turn it on. And I forgot about it. I turned it on at like the 6th inning or something. And it was like a 1-0 game. I think we ended up losing 2-0 or so. What it was one of those nothing games. And Ellie came up, and he had a rather lengthy at bat. He was fouling some pitches off, and he looked relatively patient, hitting from the right side. And it got to 3-2. And I looked at Ashley. I was like, I'm done.
You know he's going to take strike 3 down the middle, right?
And that's exactly what the fuck he did.
He does it all the time. He does
right
He
down
can't see the ball.
can.
I don't know what his problem is.
I
challenge everybody to watch. That's a challenge to watch the Reds. If you watch the Reds, look at what happens the majority of time when they have what doesn't happen too often when they have a rally. When they have men at first and second.
Well, what did they do last night? I think I saw they had
Well, no.
bases loaded
Let
in
me
the
finish the
ninth.
thought. I have something specific that they do.
Okay.
When they have second and third, nobody out. When they have first and second, nobody out. When they have first and third, 1 out. Every batter takes the first pitch. except Sal Stewart.
So it's a coached philosophy, is what it is.
No, it's these guys aren't. They're not hunters.
Well, no,
They're
typically
not Tony
when a
Perez.
whole-
They're not RBI guys.
When a whole team is doing something, it's coached.
No,
But
it's
they're
not.
being instructed.
This is not the coach. This isn't. These are guys that lack confidence. They're hoping to get ahead in the count, so maybe they get a slightly easier pitch to hit. If somebody throws you something in the zone you're looking for, your best hitters, your real RBI guys in this game, they thrash the ball at that point. They're not looking to get ahead in the count. That's what pussies do. I'm not getting ahead in the count. I'm going to freaking smoke the shit out of this pitch right here. That's what they don't do. You know who used to do that? The guy they had last year for a short time, Andujar. He wasn't taking a fucking pitch. He was crushing the first thing that was over. They don't have guys with that frame of mind. They really don't. That's one of the biggest problems this team has. Other than the fact that they can't hit, they can't get a men on base, they can't move them over, and they never go first to third. They never steal bases. You know, people want to have that team back that they had for 6 weeks back in 2023 when McLean came up and Ellie Clint came up, and they were taking extra bases. They were challenging the other teams. Well, they don't play the game like that anymore.
No, it's a mentality, and they just don't do it. They don't play offense the way I say the Bengals don't play defense.
Right.
You got to be aggressive. You got to want it. You got to want to just absolutely take it to somebody, and it's like you said, they're like waiting for it to present itself. No.
Well,
Rip the box open and go.
The big issue from last night's game, I mean, there were a lot of issues, honestly. And I couldn't watch it. I watched for like 4 innings, and I looked at Kim and I said, I can't do it a third night in a row. I said, this team has scored 1 run in like 24 innings or whatever it was. I said, I can't do this. I said, they're not freaking facing Cy Young out here.
No.
They faced Brandon Woodruff, who hadn't pitched in like a year and a half. And the guy freaking has a perfect game going into the 6th inning. Last night, they faced a guy they were getting, or 2 nights ago, they were getting no hit into the 5th inning. It's like, who are these same guys are going to go out and pitch next week, and they're just going to have an average game. But against us, but anyway, the big deal from yesterday, if you're looking at everything, is Dane Meyer. The fact that I don't know why they did this. They had a sip Bleday. I thought that was smart from Tito. I had said that during the second game. Bleday just consistently looks like he's behind on the pitch now. He's tired. They didn't need to give the guy a day off.
He needs a day or two. Yeah.
So they gave him a day off. But what in the world did Tito do? He put Dane Meyer in the lineup. That's fine. But he just stuck him in Bleday's spot. We'll just hit you third. What? Why are you hitting him third ahead of Sal? And do you think he's actually going to protect Ellie? Who's scared of Dane Meyer? I mean, they should have just pushed the lineup forward and had Sal Stewart hitting there and just move Dane Meyer back to 7th or 8th, wherever he's supposed to be. Or for God's sake, you can lead him off, but Blake Dunn's doing a decent job at that. But I just don't understand some of these decisions. And now everybody's banging on Tito because Dane Meyer hits into the game-ending double play. And I didn't know the statistic at the time because Dane Meyer is kind of a fast runner.
Yeah, he's fast.
And he hit a ground ball to short. I don't know if you saw the play. It was a tailor-made 6-4-3, but the shortstop had trouble getting out of his glove. I thought, we're going to tie this game because he's like bobbling it. Still got him by a step. I'm not sure what happened there. But I guess after the game, they interviewed Tito, and he said something along the lines of, well, we felt comfortable. We thought he was too fast to hit into a double play. Apparently, he's number 5 in baseball in double plays as a percentage of at-bats this year. Does Tito not know that? I mean, I don't understand. Maybe they didn't have anybody else. They could have bunted. They seriously could bunt with the bases loaded and 1 out. If you lay down a good bunt, you're absolutely safety squeeze going to tie that game. And you know as well as I do, when the team, when the defense gets rattled and you do something that actually kind of surprises them, there's a really good chance that ball was going to wind up down the right field line from the throw, and we would have won the game.
Mhm.
But everybody around here is anti-bunt, especially because Arroyo came up and I guess tried to bunt in the ninth inning, and we forced a guy at third. I don't care how slow the runner is. If it's a good bunt, you or I will make it to third. The speed of the runner only comes into play if it's a bad bunt.
Yep.
I mean, and everybody's blaming the coaching decision to bunt. How can you ask a rookie to do that? Well, I'm sorry. If I'm a Major League Baseball player and I learned how to bunt back in D1 knothole. Now, granted, I wasn't bunting against a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, but I'd say through the years, if I'd have continued to play baseball for 25 years and you asked me to bunt and I see a 95-mile-an-hour fastball regularly every single game, probably see 20, 25 of those per night, I think I could figure out how to lay a bunt down. They're afraid to because they're afraid they're going to get their hand hurt. Because they don't know how to bunt, they slide their hand up the bat with their fingers wrapped around it, or they're holding it real tight like this. They're just not sliding down and catching the bat with the ball, or catching the ball with the bat. They're just not doing it right. Now everybody's going to say this is all Chris Valleca's fault again. Well, Chris Valleca's job is not to develop players. That happens in the minor leagues. He is given players that are supposed to be ready. I know everybody wants that guy out of here. I don't know. The Reds are just super frustrated, though, because much like the Bengals of the last 25 years until the last few, they play the Cardinals, and now they play the Brewers, and inexplicably they play the Pirates like the Bengals used to always play the Steelers.
They play scared
to death. No, they never want to take the game to anybody. They got to fix that.
What's weird is I can understand being scared of a football team.
Yeah, I can't be. How are you afraid of a? I can be intimidated by a pitcher, but not those guys. We didn't even see their best pitcher. Who's that kid that throws 104? A tall, skinny, young kid. I can't remember his last name.
I can't ever pronounce it.
Or something.
I can't ever pronounce it, but I know who you're talking
about. But that's a guy that you'd be. Oh shit! Mm-hmm. Not these other guys.
I would be intimidated by guys, like the Randy Johnsons of the world, the Pedro Martinez of the world, the even Jose Fernandez, rest his soul. Those kind of guys that are electric.
You can understand how you can't lay down a bunt against those guys, or how you have a 20 strikeout game like the Reds did against Randy Johnson. Here's the other one. I'm sure you didn't hear this one about Matt McLean.
No.
You're not going to believe this. You're absolutely not going to believe
I'm ready to not believe.
What's that?
I'm ready to not believe.
They're starting to play him in center field.
Well, no, I believe that because they tried that in the minor leagues last year.
Why? You do that when you're trying to keep a guy's bat in the lineup. What the fuck? You don't do that with him. That's not the guy you oh my God. If they're freaking, they don't know. They don't have a clue. You don't take a guy that hasn't been a good hitter since 2023 and try to find a spot for him. The only thing he does right is he runs the bases well, but not aggressively anymore, and he plays a really quality second base. So we're going to take a guy who's the only thing he does right, really, on a consistent basis, because he doesn't get on base, is play defense, and you're going to move him to center field. And you think he's going to play a better center field than, Dane Meyer screwed one up yesterday too. I don't know how he didn't. I don't know if you saw the home run. He goes back to the fence. He turns the wrong way, corrects himself, turns back the other way, doesn't quite stumble, but he's not really racing after the ball. He finally jumps for the ball as it's going over the fence, and his glove hit the yellow line. The ball, I think, skidded off the yellow line. But he missed the ball. It went to the left or the right of his glove. It's like, are you kidding me? It's not like you're scaling an 11-foot wall here. You could go back and reach your glove up, and if you had no hops at all, you could still hit the yellow line. Yeah. I mean, that fence is – I don't know what the fence is. It can't be more than 9 foot tall.
I was going to say typically they're about 8 feet tall.
I mean, anybody could go back to the fence, put their hand on it, and jump in the air and touch that yellow line, especially when they got these gloves that are like 13 inches long. I don't understand. Everything we do is wrong. Everything we do.
We're just a little bit bass backward.
We suck.
Maybe a lot of it.
I'll tell you what, though, I wouldn't want to play for the owner.
No,
If an owner can control your mojo and your desire to do your best or to excel or not excel, he's definitely put the brakes on people.
Oh, I don't. When I think about some of the people who I've really worked hard for or played hard for in my life or my short sports career, they're typically a little bit of a hard ass of a boss or a manager or whatever. But they're also people that I know want it just as much, if not more, than I do. And I know that we're kind of pulling the same direction. I don't know if Phil Castellini knows that he runs a baseball team. I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, and I know Terry Francona's got 2,000 wins or whatever he's got.
Ain't none of them here.
I never respect coaches that don't look like a loss bothers them. I want a coach. They don't even get as mad as I am right now. They don't. They'll be at the podium or they'll be sitting at their little desk in their office, and they'll look funny at a reporter who asks them a question that's just a little bit off color, or they'll make a joke about something and they'll say, well, that's Francona's way. He's just trying to keep everybody loose. Well, loose hasn't worked. Where's the freaking cattle prod? I still say Ellie, I know he's coming off a leg injury. He's still not running hard. That was his gift. His gift was not power. He's never hit for power. Was he hit 21 home runs a year? Something like that? He's never hit for power. He's playing in the smallest ballpark in baseball. All you got to do is hit a pop-up and it goes out of there. It was speed. He forced mistakes with speed. And that's the element he doesn't use anymore. What good is he? They've come back. They haven't won a game. They can lose with him or without him. And when you got a player that you can lose with or without, you don't need that player.
Correct.
All he does is get people excited when he comes up. People still chant Ellie. I wonder how many times the fans have chanted Ellie in unison. He's actually gotten a hit.
Like once, twice.
It's hardly ever happened.
Doesn't happen.
Still, never hit a walk-off hit. He's never had a walk-off hit. Is that ridiculous or what?
I think
You want your best players to rise to the occasion. He doesn't rise. Thank God he walked yesterday because he was going to strike out in the ninth inning. The pitcher threw that 3-2 pitch was about 1.5 feet outside. Nobody would have swung with that with the exception of probably Suarez. And he took it. I thought, oh, well, now it's up to Dane Meyer. And I actually think Dane Meyer is a pretty good hitter. If I had to rank him of all the Reds players, he's probably one of my top 3 or 4 guys that I trust is going to put the bat on the ball and do something.
Well,
He fouled off 3 or 4
if we're
pitches
talking
yesterday.
about putting the bat on the ball,
I mean, that's where you got to start
the
with
best
the round.
player is Ke'Bryan Hayes.
Yeah. Who? Hey, we finally got a report on him the other day. They said that they're working on his back and this
He's
and
not
that.
MIA anymore. We found him.
He's a player they don't even talk about. They don't want him to get healthy, I don't think.
He is in the Sean Marshall twilight of his career. You may never. We don't even know if he exists anymore.
Right. They sent him on a one-way ticket to Arizona.
Here's
He
your
ain't
rehab.
coming back.
Here's your rehab assignment in Alaska. Have fun.
So everybody's calling me a Reds bully. Does anybody disagree?
No.
Well, I see everybody. Just one guy. He just keeps repeating it. Old Todd. But
Ty.
Ty Bowles. He just keeps repeating it. I don't know if he's saying that endearingly or if he thinks I'm an asshole. I'm not sure what it is.
It's endearingly.
Okay.
Trust me on that one.
I don't know how
T-Balls loves
anybody
us.
can be comfortable watching the Reds. I really don't.
Even the most like optimistic, go Reds, love baseball, done this my whole life, people on the planet are like, man, ugh. And I'm like, wow, you hit this point that I hit 10 years ago. Like, I know we kind of talk about this if I had a kid right now who was like maybe 4 or 5 and starting to roll around with a baseball and Dad, I want to go to a Reds game, he would not enjoy it. We'd sit there.
Well, no, a kid would enjoy it because they don't care about the score. They do everything else right. They are what I thought Elizabeth Blackmore was going to be for the Bengals. Let's just paint the end zones. Let's make everything cool and neat and blingy and frilly and lights with the
Are you
cameras.
admitting that Elizabeth does a little bit more?
No, I'm just saying
Oh.
the Bengals actually won some football games along the way.
Okay.
But if the Bengals wouldn't have won any football games, I would have said, well, she probably works for both teams. Now we've got this freaking tarps off section. Have you seen this?
No, we can't sell tickets. They've started the tarps.
You know what that is?
That's
What
the
tarps
Oakland-
off is?
That's the Oakland A's twilight of your career.
No.
Tarping things off.
They said this actually started in St. Louis. It's just the fans are in one section, and they're all guys.
Oh,
they
it's
take
the
their
shirtless
shirts
guys?
off and they swing their shirts around. They have now put a big banner under the scoreboard in left field that says tarps off section. And so that's what they're doing. They want fans to enjoy themselves.
They're trying to build
we
as
do
much
everything.
fan
We do the
camaraderie.
wave. We freaking they'll start doing the chicken dance out there. They're going to do everything except win. I guarantee you, most people that care about the game would much rather go back to Riverfront Stadium, where it was a cookie cutter stadium. There was no frills about Riverfront, but every night you had a damn good chance to win a baseball game.
Well, thank God they've got Geta nachos.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. To me, it's like the Pirates. I saw some commercial today where their stadium was like being highlighted for whatever. I don't want to be known for my stadium. I want to be known for my team.
Mhm.
And the Reds aren't even known for their stadium. I think their stadium's nice, but it's not elite.
Well, I mean, here's the thing.
I just want to win, though.
Would you rather be? I don't know. Trying to think of an NFL team here, but the last couple of championships have been won by teams with cool stadiums, so they're not helping me.
The last couple of championships are what?
Have been won by teams with cool stadiums. So I'm having to go back a ways. Even if they don't win a championship, look at the Bills. I know they're getting a new Highmark Stadium. They don't have a great stadium. But they're going to be competitive every single year. They're solid football.
The team that was the absolute poster child for what I'm talking about were the Steelers.
Yep.
They have no cheerleaders. That didn't have Steelers written in the end zones. It had those little diagonal white lines. There was no frills, but
No.
they meant business, and they
it
were
was a
going to
grass-
give you. They were going to make it
grass
really
field. And they were
difficult for
going
you
to
to
punch
beat
you
them
in
there.
the teeth.
I mean, they've lived 50 years now off that freaking yellow towel, but it worked. It's intimidating. I don't care what people say.
They're
You ever go to I went to Three River Stadium. I've been to the new place once, but those fans are flipping intimidating because they want to win, and their team
God.
just seems to. The Steelers on defense, they intimidate.
yes.
It's not. But we
Ravens-
got the
we'll
Milwaukee
put the-
Brewers.
Put the Ravens in that category too. The Ravens intimidate on defense.
Yeah, they do. They're a little more frilly. The Ravens are.
They are, but they're also a newer team too.
Yeah. But I guess my point going all the way back is how are we intimidated? A, it's a baseball team. B, there's no juggernaut pitcher that's pitching against us unless it's that young kid. And we just can't hit. And this isn't just happening. I was talking to Kim, my wife, the other day, and I said, you remember like 3 years ago, we went to like 4 games where the Reds played the Brewers. And it's like through the first 3 games, we had like 6 hits and 1 run. It was right around the All-Star break or early July. I said, ever since that moment, it just seems like the Reds can't do a damn thing against the Brewers. And of course, they bring it up on the telecast. They said, well, the last time the Reds went 2 games without scoring a run was on July 1st and 2nd of 2023. I'm going, yep, there it is. It's this stupid Milwaukee team. Lord knows what's going to happen after we lose 2 out of 3 to the Pirates. Then we go for 4 to Milwaukee before the All-Star break.
We might get They might lose the next 7.
How many things are you going to see on Twitter where it says "sell the team, Phil"? It doesn't say Bob anymore.
No,
You're going to get sell the team, Phil. It's going to be all over the place. Yes, Kevin. Chase Burns has been pitching awesome.
Yes, that's it. When we talk about who's if you could pick 3 guys moving forward, I don't know if I got 3. I know I got 1.
And that's what really sucks. The Reds' pitching lately has been good again. And they're back to what they did at the beginning of the year where they can't hit the ball at all, but they were winning those close games. They were going to – I was going to say they got a break because they would – the other team would walk us a couple times. You know how many times we walked yesterday, Ty? Or 11. A, how do you walk 11 times and lose? B, how do you walk 11 times and only score 5 runs?
I saw, what was it? They had 11 runs and 11 hits.
Yeah.
And
you got 22 men, 22 men on base in 9 innings, and you only score 5 runs?
I was looking at my phone because I don't watch them, but I look at the box score every night or every morning. So I do keep tabs. And I'm walking out the front door to my car to go to work. It was yesterday, whatever the morning was after that game. And I looked down and it said 11 hits, 11 walks. And I looked at it and I was like, and that was just like a headline. And I was like, is that a misleading headline? Is that like over the last 2 games? Because I know the offense hasn't been doing good. And nope, that was 1 game. I looked at Ashley because she was driving me to work. I was like, we had 22 base runners and barely scored. 22.
They had a game a couple weeks ago where they left like 13 or 15 guys on base.
16.
That's unbelievable. Every one of those guys in that starting lineup should have been benched the next day, and I had a couple pitchers playing second and third. I mean, a pitcher is just as productive at the plate as Ellie and the rest of the guys. It's incredible how bad these guys are. But and if these guys are cowering down to pressure, can you imagine Matt McClain playing in like a New York media market or a Philadelphia media market or Ellie De La Cruz? Because these guys get a pass all the time. The only person that is really anybody in the city that's killing them right now is Lance McAllister. He's finally decided to try to use his platform to blast away. And his big thing he keeps saying is, and he retweeted it today, I guess it was from May 23rd, still waiting for somebody in the front office to say this is unacceptable. They won't. They don't care.
Because this is what they want. They're hanging around 500.
They don't even care about 500. You would think they'd want to play better to get more fans in the stands. Because so they can sell more $7 hot dogs.
They're not going to have to soon because they want the collective bargaining TV agreement. They're going to get even more money by getting.
It's not going to work though. Baseball is going to be what it is in a year and a half. What it is now. They've tried this before, and the owners don't have either the deep enough pockets or they have anxiety and they can't hold it out, and they never fix it. This has been going on since 1974 when free agency began. With Andy Messerschmidt, pitcher for the Dodgers. This is where it all began, and the owners just cannot make themselves say, we're going to shut this thing down because this doesn't work anymore. Or if it does work, we deserve to make more because we're the ones that bought the team. And they do. I agree with that. Owners should make all the money. They should make much more money than any individual player does. And I don't think some of the teams do. I mean, I don't know for sure. The books are not open, but I can't imagine every team makes what Juan Soto makes a year.
No.
At a minimum.
No.
But there shouldn't be one player that makes more money than a team makes. That's how screwed up this whole system is. And Major League Baseball's solution is we'll just add more teams that get to the playoffs just to keep the cities that aren't good kind of engaged. And we'll add more teams and we'll water down the sport.
The only thing that Major League Baseball can point to is that they have had more unique champions over the last 15 years than the NFL, which is wild to me to think about. But that's because Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes exist.
Yeah. That still does not make the game better.
No.
They got to get, I mean, the whole philosophy of home runs, launch angle, the 3 outcomes, strikeout, walk, or home run. That's so boring.
It's ruined baseball.
It's just beer league softball. That's really all it is.
It's
And
like
they've
I
ruined
say,
it.
it's the equivalent of just throwing a bomb every play in the NFL. It's either going to be an incomplete pass, a pick, or a touchdown. That's your answer. Just let it rip, throw it deep.
They need to take the fences in the outfield and make them all like 40 foot tall. Make those balls bounce off the fence. Make these guys run a little bit. Let's have some excitement. Not with the Reds. I mean, the Reds will still strike out, so we wouldn't be running around the bases. We'd be watching other teams do it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think as much as it's just kind of been bashing the Reds, it's been a good little show.
Well,
you got some intensity. You got some fire. You got more passion than anybody else in that ball club right now.
that's not hard. That really is not hard.
We're lowering the bar here at Rally Around the Natty.
I mean, the only player that shows emotion on that team is Sal Stewart. And he's a quirky son of a buck. So I'm not – he's kind of a weirdo. But he's at least showing passion. When he strikes out, you can tell he kind of like wants to – every once in a while he'll slam his helmet, he'll slam his bat.
Hmm.
But everybody else is just like
Uh-huh.
I mean, I don't know what that emotion is, but what is – that's all I get.
That is, oh, well, I have $1 million. That's what that is.
You need more players that care. Even Bryce Harper makes a metric ton of money, but he cares.
Oh,
He still gets mad when he gets
full
out.
of piss and vinegar.
Yeah. I want to see that. I want to know they care. How will the Bengals do this season?
Changing gears, who the fuck knows?
Depends on the defense and depends if Joe Burrow stays healthy. If you get both of them, they're going to win the Super Bowl. That's how they're going to do. That's where I'm at.
Clip it. June
Clip it.
25th.
Clip it.
If they both are doing their job.
They win the Super Bowl. With or without Jamar Chase. If Jamar gets hurt, they'll still find a way. Joe will get the ball to other people. He has in the past. I'm not looking for that to happen. I'm just saying keep Joe healthy and have the defense be a mid. We'll say 13 to
15.
18. Put them somewhere in there. They're going to win the Super Bowl.
I think if Jamar was out and the game-winning touchdown went to Drew Sample and Drew Garrison had one of his parlays going, he would implode. I think he might sprint down to the stadium. God, where does he live now? I think he's up near Middletown. He might sprint down from Middletown. Just no, I think they've got a chance to do whatever they want to do this year. I think they're set up to win as many games as they want to win, and that's.
I'm putting you on the hot seat. Are they going to win the Super Bowl? I'm going to say they are. They're going to have enough happen on defense. Joe stays healthy every other year. We're in the every other year now, so I think they're going to win the Super Bowl.
They're not going to win it this year. They'll win it next year. I think they need one more little bit of bump on defense, and then I think that they're going to be a problem. It won't be this year. It'll be next year.
That's not good enough for me.
And it'll be like a Ted Karras final ride kind of thing. And he'll be running off the field, that little stubbly mountain man that he is, all fired up. And Joe's going to be giving us one of these. And
I will say that is one of the more exciting things I like when they announce the offense.
Ted.
Because he runs as hard as he can. His head's bobbing all over the place. I like that. I can just hear him going as he's running through.
I absolutely love Ted Karras. And I was so excited when we got him. I was like, oh my God, we got one. We got a good ball player. But I think that's good for tonight. We're at 35 minutes. Good little sweet spot for the show. We had a little bit more eyes on the show this week, a little bit more in the comment section going on. We're getting back to where we want to go.
Progress. One thing we can't say about the Reds: progress.
No, never. So, if you have any questions, always put them in the chat. I've been told that I need to not do my sign off that I normally do because problems now. But for all of us here at Rye Around the Natty, that's Bengal Dad. I'm Santori Miles. I still really hate Pittsburgh. I just got to be nice about it.